Yom al-Quds is the day of remembering the occupation of Palestine. And this was an event that was declared at the time following the revolution in the Islamic Republic of Iran. The last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan was determined to be Yom al-Quds, or the day of Palestine, the day of Quds. On this day, Muslims all over the world remember the occupation, remember not only the occupation in Palestine, but the occupation as a whole, as a general matter. The reason why Palestine was noted is because that has been something facing the Muslim world since the 1940s. And the occupation of Palestine has been something that has been a painful issue in the Muslim community. So Muslims in different parts of the world, different parts of the East and the West, have dedicated this last Friday, Jummatul Wida, which is the last Friday of Holy Ramadan, as Yom al-Quds, so that they will remember, they will struggle, they will try and not let their day-to-day lives make them forget the occupation that has happened in Palestine over the years, over the decades. In North America, numerous cities have got processions, they have demonstrations, they keep rallies in order to create awareness amongst the general public as to what is happening in Palestine, the occupation, and the result of the occupation, which is also the lack of proper supplies, or lack of proper medical supplies, coming into Palestine, coming into the occupied areas. And often Gaza, the Gaza Strip, is referred to as the world's biggest open-air prison. And this basically symbolizes how people cannot freely move in, freely move out, and how even if they are able to travel, able to move around, there's checkpoints everywhere, there's all kinds of time delays for the locals. And as mentioned earlier, that even supplies coming in have become very scarce, very rare. Medical supplies, often food doesn't get in as much as needed. Salaries are sometimes withheld depending on what political events are transpiring. So even in North America, there seems to be a great information movement that has caused not only the Muslims to be more aware of the issues in Palestine and what the Palestinians are suffering, but even Christians and other secular Jews, community members, even those who are irreligious people, are becoming more aware of what is happening in Palestine and are actually taking a stand. And we see more often and more non-Muslims becoming a part of the equation. There have been a number of church groups and churches in both Canada and the United States who have had a program of divestment, which means that they will not buy anything that's Israeli, they will not sell anything or encourage anything amongst their church members, something that is produced or made in Israel. And so we see this awareness being created. There is a very good website that is called the endtheoccupation.com, which groups of both Muslims, Christians, as well as secular Jews who are not Zionists, as well as other atheists and others who have come together under one banner to create awareness and to help strive for the end of the occupation of Palestine and Palestinian lands. And we also feel that there's an awareness of people in the United States of America being concerned about their tax dollars and their equipment going to a place like Israel and being used and abused by the Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF, against Palestinians, destroying homes, uprooting trees, especially olive trees, which are the staple source of income for the Palestinians. So we are grateful for this awareness that has been taking place all over the globe, all over the world, and even in our North America, from where I am, we see this awareness increasing on a
One thing I would just like to stress about the Quds Day is why was this announcement done by Khomeini about the Quds, and why did he choose a day for solidarity with Palestine? The question mark is that there were so many other countries which were facing troubles and they were in problems, but Khomeini ended up choosing Palestine and focuses Palestine as a place to be able to use it as a hub to support the Muslims. So the question mark is that why not other countries? countries which were facing trouble, and why choose Palestine? So to answer this, and that shows the insight and the far-sightedness of Imam Khomeini. This man, he chose Palestine because if we see today, all the policies which are shaped up in the international politics is based upon this Israeli and Zionist regime. So a country like United States, which is a superpower, will not make a good decision until what Israel wants. And thus, the farsightedness and the insight of Imam Khomeini was that if this domino effect, Israel being the head of this domino effect, if it falls, every other enemy of Islam will end up falling. So you notice just one example, that today anything happening in the Middle East, one thing which will always be looked upon is what is the interest and what is the loss of Israel if we were to take a step. So a superpower like America takes up a step to supply weapons to the rebels in Syria. They stop and they start thinking, will the rebels' weapons go in the hands of such people who will then end up attacking Israel? So the whole policy is held up for some time and thought over. It seems like Israel is the force which runs the whole world. And the whole superpower also is being run by this small country and regime. And thus Imam Khomeini's ruling of making Quds Day the last day, the Friday of the month of Ramadan, the month in which Muslims are to spiritually uplift themselves, he makes it as a day that we are to fight against this country and this regime so that we can eliminate all other enemies of Islam, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Quds Day was established by Imam Khomeini back in 1979. But it has a specific purpose behind it. That's what we are supposed to know. If we know the specific purpose, we'll come to know actually what this Quds Day is about. What is its aim? Imam Khomeini established this because we should cry out for the oppressed Muslims of the world. Not only the Muslims of Palestine, but for example, today we have the Muslims of Pakistan. We have the Muslims out there in Myanmar. We have, for example, the Iranian people who are our Muslim brothers. So what we have to do basically on this Quds Day is to cry out for them, to support them. And plus, this, what Imam Khomeini established, is based on the hadith of the Prophet, whereby the Prophet is letting us to know that we need to not only care, but to also know, have acknowledgement of the neighbors that are not only living close by, but even in close cities. And in other words, they are our Muslim brothers. So if we have acknowledgement what is going on around there, so we need to also work. In other words, if our Muslim brethren are being oppressed, we are the ones who are connected with them. And therefore we need to stand up and cry for them and tell the people, look, what is going around is wrong and we need to correct it. Therefore, you see right now in Iran, they take out processions and throughout the world. The processions have only one cry, and that is that we need to support our Muslim brethren around. Assalamu alaikum.
Steady basis. Thank you for watching and listening. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. Thank you.